Hello there everyone, Ashnflash here, and welcome on into a earlier review of the brand new set 10333, the Lord of the Rings Barad-dûr set. This is going to be retailing for $459.99 USD or $599.99 Canadian. It has 5,471 pieces and is going to be available beginning on June the 1st to the 3rd for LEGO Insiders. If you're not a member yet, you're going to have to wait until June the 4th. And during that time, from June the 1st till June the 7th, if you purchase the tower while it's still available, you can get this promo here that you see on screen of the Fell Beast. We talk a little bit more about that in the reveal video. But anyways, back to this set. It is an absolutely massive set. This is the second biggest set that I've ever looked at here on the channel. It's 32.5 inches tall and is 17.5 inches wide. It's always interesting to me when LEGO wants to sort of promote the size of a set when they put it on the front of the box, sort of showing it off, I guess. The back of the box shows off a couple of different features, and you can see how it's a modular system, which we'll talk about, of course, as we go through this. Before we look at the set built, I just want to show you the sort of process of building the set. There's actually 40 bags for the set, as well as this really cool sticker sheet, which some of these details had to have been stickered. They just couldn't have been printed. I'm never one to complain about stickers pretty much anyways. So the next step obviously is to look at the instructions, and there are 3, and it's sectioned off just like what we had with Rivendell. So you've got the bottom section, the next level up, and then the rest of the tower there. And on the back, there's a couple of different fun things. You've got some orcs there. You've got the other orcs. And then on this one here, we have the mouth of Sauron and Sauron himself. So that's pretty neat, but I do want to just go through and show you some of the details here. So starting things off, we've got a really crummy image of this. I wish there was a higher quality one there, but that's fine. We've got the Dark Tower, and you can pause to read if you want to here. We've got a message from the designer of the set, which is really great. Kudos to her. Awesome to hear her talk about this as well, and how passionate she was in Denmark about this. And then you've also got here another little bit there if you want to read that. And we've also got some other little stats, obviously, that you're going to see, and some images that you're going to see throughout this. Now, one of my favorite things that they've been doing recently, and just it makes the building experience that much more interesting, is they include these fun little facts all throughout this. And I just, like, to me, whenever they do something like this, it adds to the building experience. Like, it makes me stop, it makes me appreciate everything that they're saying and doing inside of here. Like, oh, this piece was recolored here for the first time, or you're in the study for Sauron. You know, I didn't find anything in that instruction booklet, but there's just so much here for them to talk about. I think it just makes and adds that sort of connection between you and the designers that are in the front part of the instructions. It's just a more powerful building experience that way. Now here's the whole thing built up, and it's just insane. The architecture of this, some of the part usages here, some recolors, the whole rocks and how it's built into this mountain. It's just insane. You can see how it goes way past the paper for the usual height that I have for reviews, up to the shelf, which usually has helmets on it, but I put the figures there. Speaking of helmets, we really need some Lord of the Rings ones. But anyways, here is the back here, and there's a bunch of different rooms. Again, we're going to go ahead and go level by level and take this apart since it is in this modular system. And also, I'll have better lighting since I'll be able to actually focus them level by level when it's separated. So I'm going to start with the easiest section, and it's going to remove everything above it. And all you have to do here is you grab onto this ledge and you pull, and it separates the entire top section here. And I've got my hand up above so that I won't drop the rest of the tower, and you just slide it on out and you're good to go. Maybe you don't have the width to display the whole thing. You could sort of just leave it like this, which I'm kind of tempted to do because it fits into the smallest IKEA Billy that I've got. But still, I kind of want to display it all together, but this is definitely an option. In the next section here, you just slide and detach it just like you did before. And then for the next bit, what you do is you remove this pin, and then you can just separate it by grabbing it like this and detaching it. And while I've got separated here, I just want to talk about something really cool that I got to see back in the fall of 2023 in Denmark. They said that you can actually get multiple copies of the set. And this section here, what you could do is you could see right here, you can actually stack them on top of each other. Now, I would personally recommend, if you were wanting to do this, because I've seen some comments, people saying that it's too short, which I think is a crazy statement, but you could probably, when the set comes out, these pieces, a lot of the different blades and everything that you're going to see the details for, they're probably going to be on bricks and pieces. So if you wanted to, you could go ahead and actually order the parts and build your own, make your own room inside and extend it out. I think that would be really cool. We'll go left to right and start over here. Again, just the dark oranges and the medium nougats into the tan. It looks great, and a little bit of light gray. This part is a play feature, which I'll show you in a second, but I even love how there's like lava spewing out of that section and how it all spills out throughout this whole set. Get a really good look at that here, just with these transparent yellow slope pieces. I think they look really good, as well as you'll notice all throughout this in the back there, it's maybe a little bit more noticeable this way. Giving this a bit more of a bird's eye view, you could see that there's just a lot of these 1x4 transparent orange tiles. That's a recolor for this set specifically, and it's used so many times, obviously, throughout this. And you can just see all these different sections here. They look great, again, with the lava spilling out there onto the floor. I also really like these black platforms that they've got throughout this as well, which is, I guess you could pose your minifigures there and have them standing around. Also, this part of the wall looks really great. You're going to notice that they use this piece all throughout this to create this incredible texture. I love the point up here. I will say as well, I don't like that the walls sort of are a little bit wobbly all throughout this. I mean, it is a display model. You're not really going to touch it too much, but I don't know. I think that it would have been nice if these were a little bit more locked in. You do repeat this a couple times here on the ground floor, and I think it looks great with just all the different spikes. I also really love the color scheme. You'll notice, like, closest to the lava, it's reddish brown, then it goes dark brown, then it goes black. All right, we'll just take the whole arch off to reveal this whole section over here, which, again, this detailing here, it just looks really nice. I will say there's a couple of different instances, like right in underneath there, the dark gray. I don't like that. I think that should have just been that piece in reddish brown. There's a little bit of gaps throughout this that I'm going to point out that I think the part usage should have been a bit better. I really like the detailing up here on the top of this wall. It's a little bit different than the other ones. You've got some teeth pieces and different things there. I think it just looks great with these torches here. You're going to notice all of the flames actually point one way throughout this set. This front gate and walkway looks pretty cool with this whole archway. I removed the archway just so that you could see the whole level here, how it's on an angle, as well as you've got a bunch of the mech fingers there being used for these little points. They specifically do call this a black gate, so I think that's kind of interesting. But you can see this piece way in the back. You see that follow my finger all the way here? You can turn this and it will actually open up the door, allowing you to enter inside. And I just think that is a really simple but cool play feature there. And this is the little thing that I turned from the side. I'm not a big fan of this. I think that it could have been a little bit better hidden. You'll see there's other hidden compartments throughout the set, and they just don't look like this as noticeable. I don't know. I also noticed that as sometimes that I'm turning this thing, you'll see I'm exaggerating it here, but this slope piece does actually turn. So I think that this needed to be a little bit more filled out there, just so that it's not as noticeable and that piece won't turn every time that you open up the gate. This is what it looks like from up above here, and I think it looks great. I love how you can separate each of the sections. I didn't really talk about that before when I did it, but the fact that you are able to completely open this, and then that lets me, put my hand from above to, place figures around inside here. And just to show you here from this side what it looks like when you open and close the gate, you can see all the gears turning and even the mechanism there that moves to open it. First of all, I love the steps and how they come on down onto the armory floor there. I think that looks great with some of the tile work that they've done. This is all, technically, you can remove it all, and I'm just trying to figure out the best way to remove this. You could see all of them, all of these little stands and everything, they're all on top of studs that you can easily just remove and attach however you want, and sort of customize this whole room. If you want to separate this and move it around to different places, you can do whatever you want. So that shield rack, you're going to see it more up close when we look at some of the figures, but it looks cool. This is a new shield element that they've created. It's all scratched up and everything. Speaking of new elements, there's these two new helmets, and I'm going to show you where they're from. So included in the set is this new bag, and it's got a bunch of different helmets, and the instruction says that there are 4 different types here. So included are 8 helmets, but you'll notice it's not 2 of each. It's actually 3 of these types of helmets, and you've got this other style over here, which is really cool. And then you've, of course, got the other 2 there for Frodo and Sam. Back to this section, you could take the weapons and pretend that you're placing them against there and having it spin to sharpen them. And I also just like there's a little barrel with a spear. You've also got a bucket of water. Over here, you've got some lava coming out of the wall, and it's pooling inside of there. You've got the anvil to work on, as well as some ingots, and this piece there so that you can reach into the lava after you've, like, melted down the pieces into the ingots. And in the back here, you've got this double armor stand there with 2 shoulder pads and another one of the new helmets. Over here, you've got a prison cell, which I guess you could put some of the different characters inside, or if an orc acts up. But you've got the gear there that you can lower and raise it. And I think that's just a simple but fun play feature to include here. I guess that's also another minifigure. And over here inside, you've got a small little cave with a fish. And this is supposed to be a little cave for Gollum to hide out inside of. And this is what I was talking about before. This whole section is pretty seamless and not noticeable, but you can remove this whole section here, and you've got a spider included inside. And I think that's a cool, maybe reference to Shelob. But yeah, you just slide that back on in. And just to give you a sort of quick sweeping overview of this whole thing, I really like this section. And again, I feel like this could be its own base on its own. But as you go through here, like just the different points, like it just looks great how, again, it's not symmetrical where you've got this tower here. It's taller than the one over there on that side. The whole rock feature here throughout this looks incredible how, again, this is built into a mountain and you definitely get that rocky effect. It looks great. I will say a couple of spots throughout this, though, you can notice that as you sort of touch some of the rocks, they will sort of go on an angle and move. It's not the biggest deal, but I just think that they could have been locked into place a little bit better there. Again, it is a display set. Like I said before, you're not really going to be touching too much of this. However, there is a noticeable problem I have with this section, and it is the gaps here. I think that either on the other side or maybe putting some sort of piece here to cover that up, you could really see inside there, and that's pretty noticeable how big of a gap that is. I think that, you know, whether it was the candle pieces or something should have been used to cover this up somehow or on the inside. I'm not too sure, but that is pretty noticeable. I do like the different pillars here, again, using that color scheme of the dark brown orange there with the reddish brown and then going into the dark brown. All throughout this down here looks pretty great, and it is a bit repetitive, but it does look really nice when you're done. It's funny, I was probably paying far too much attention to making sure all the studs were going the same way that I put this the wrong way. Anyways, they're all supposed to be facing vertically like that, creating that effect, and that continues on into the inside. Now coming around here to the back and removing the top part, I just want to talk about this a little bit more. Again, these towers look really great, and they're the same design, just obviously one is a little bit taller, and the connection points there are a bit different. But also, there's sort of rocks here for you to maybe pretend that you could climb up this. I don't know. But I will say there's a bit of blue showing there, and that just, to me, that's not very acceptable. And over here, we've got another secret section here, and this is pretty neat that you can detach it again, and it's revealing these sort of blueprints and designs for the elvish rings there. That's really cool reference that is just, again, hidden and so well disguised inside of the whole build here. So here is the dining hall, and it's packed full of different things. Over here, you've got a keg there, and you've got the tap, and it's dripping whatever the liquid is inside. There's no studs inside, and no studs inside of that barrel in the back there either. This front table, the dining table, it's got a bunch of different things, giant turkey legs there, as well as a hot dog, some bones, and chalices and forks. Nice that, you know, that they are being a little polite and using forks. I guess this is sort of inspired by the scene where they're all eating and dining in the tower that Sam rescues Frodo in, where they get the disguises. You've got 3 seats only on this side, but you could seat the figures there and also turn the seats around there too if you want to have them actually facing the table or spinning around, whatever you want. Much like the floor below, you are able to actually detach the whole table here off of those studs and remove them. You have a shield
sitting on the floor there, and it's just attached with a clip piece. Over here in the back, we've got this table as well as a pot, the turkey leg, and a bone. And then you've got a chalice and some ingredients hanging there, as well as a big butcher's knife. And then over here, this is probably a lot of people's favorite reference. And we've got this sort of blackboard that they've written that meat is back on the menu. Over here, you've got this big pot, which you can remove, and you can see on the inside, you've got a carrot and a bone there, so they're making some sort of stew. And I just love the idea that they're using the existing lava features in the mountain to, down below, smelt different things, but here also to cook things in the grill, which it should be able to be bent and lifted up there. So that's pretty cool. And you can see on the inside, you've got a couple of transparent orange tiles there. I don't have too much to say about the section here on the outside. I do like some of the vent pieces being used, and there's a bit of orange with a glow sort of shining through. You're going to see that all throughout the tower. But the inside of this section is so cool. This is meant to be Sauron's throne room, and I just think that the design of the throne itself looks great. I love the tiling on the floor with those triangular pieces, as well as those banners in the back there. Those are stickered, but they look really, really cool. Now, of course, you are able to take your Sauron figure and have him actually sit down in the throne seat, which just, love that look so much. And there is a bit of a play feature here where you actually pull on this bit here, again revealing more of the floor tiling, which looks pretty cool. But then you've also got these stickered patterns there, which sort of add to the depth of this secret room. And here is such a cool reference. You've got the tree there, the white tree of Gondor from Minas Tirith, which looks cool. It's on fire, and just the whole orb and design looks amazing. But what's great is you could actually flip this and turn it around if you wanted to. And on the other side is Bag End actually on fire, which is so cool that it's sort of like this vision of the Shire being conquered by Sauron. I really like these little torches up here as well. Adds to the aesthetic. And then in the back, we've got another map, just like we had last year with Rivendell. This one obviously much larger, of Middle-earth. You could see that they fixed a couple of things here by moving Orthanc up to the top left, far away from Barad-dûr. And then you've got Minas Tirith there in the center. Hopefully, that's what I'm banking on for another set. And then you've also got this location that's next to Orthanc. I'm not sure what this is. To me, that looks like Edoras, but that's just my guess. Some people have said Helm's Deep. You've got this cool sign there that says Shire ? Baggins, so clearly he's looking into that. And you've also got these sort of posters of, I guess, his biggest henchmen almost. Like, this looks like he's plotting it all out, you know, with Gothmog down below and the Mouth of Sauron. I love these maps. I hope that this is a tradition they continue for every large-scale set. This is the rest of the tower here, and oh my goodness, I could spend the whole time just talking about how much I love just all of these grill pieces here. These spikes look incredible. These spears are actually recolored in black. That's because of the flat bottoms. We've never had that before. I love these large blade pieces here that are creating this effect here too. We'll obviously come back to the eye in a second, but just the whole, oh my goodness, this curved bits there on the outside. Over here, you've got these windows there. Again, like I was saying before with those grills, those fin pieces in black look really great there. You've got, again, a really large window there. And then over here, you've got some really cool detailing. And all these torches, see, all facing the same way. But I got to point out something, and I hate this a lot. You could see all of these blue plates being used in a couple of spots here, and that's so noticeable. I don't know why they went with blue. Maybe if it was red, it would be acceptable. Maybe. But that is just so noticeable. And I know that obviously when the whole tower is all assembled, you won't really see that because you're not going to be taller than it, but that's frustrating. Here is the Mouth of Sauron's study. That's what the instructions calls it. And you can see we've got 2 axes there as decoration. You've got a letter as well as a quill there. So he's clearly writing stuff, but you can remove that little podium to reveal this really cool detail there. That is a window piece with a printed scroll. Like it's just got a bunch of them there all on top of each other. And that's printed. So hopefully that's going to appear in other sets. Like I could see that being used for Ninjago, maybe even Harry Potter, different things. That's really cool. You've got some sort of, I don't know, some jewel there. And maybe that's a bottle. This is back. It's the 2x2 tile. Now this is a sticker of the mithril armor from Frodo that obviously is confiscated, and then we see the Mouth of Sauron with it later on. You've got a candle there, but what's cool is in behind this really neat sticker, which has, again, some scrolls and books and different things. You've got a sort of statue version, or actually, it's even got the platform of the Fell Beast from the promo. And then over there as well, you've got Saruman, which looks really, really great. I like this build here with the candles across the way. And in the back, we've got another really cool portrait here, this time of Sauron actually ruling and having skulls and with him with the one ring. Just really cool contrast there to what we saw in Rivendell. And then here we've got the Tower Library, and it's really cool. You've got this ladder that by moving the floor, you can move around so that you get access to the different books. But specifically there in the center, you've got this 2x3 tile. That's got a sticker of a piece of paper that says 3791. That is the rings given out. So you've got the 3 rings for the elves. We've got the 7 for the dwarves. 9 for the men, and then 1 ring to rule them all. Also, 1973 is the year that Tolkien died. So that's a really cool reference that they have here on that piece of paper. Just going to remove it so that you get a better look there at the sticker in the back. Again, I did show you the sticker sheet before, so if you want to go see this without, having to look around corners and different things, you can go back and look at that. This one's got a skull there in that little crevice and a spider, and then again some more books and scrolls, and you've got that same design there for the candles going across here. Now this is probably obviously the biggest draw in terms of the build, and I think that just what they did here is remarkable. The idea that instead of having it be all black here up at the top, that the eye, this giant eye build, would be illuminating the black, and you could see how it's being represented here by the orange bricks, the dark oranges, the reddish browns, and the dark browns. That is so cool. I thoroughly am impressed by that. That is just like, wow. I think that effect is accomplished so darn well. And the effect for the eye, this build, using those blade pieces there, looks amazing. All of these tooth pieces in trans orange to create the different points of like the flame and the fire is amazing. Those wheel covers and then all of the black pieces on the inside to create the eye is, as a fan of obviously the Lego Batman movie, to have this giant eye as well is just so cool. Like, look at this. It's just so emotive. You could even wobble the tower back and forth like the Lego Batman movie. I don't know. That's just so fun. You can angle this up, down, left, right, and you can even, I guess, flip it around if you want to have it looking this way. That's so cool. But there is one more play feature here, and you can see what it looks like from the back. It's not the greatest looking, I think, from this side. But angling this down just a little bit more, you can see right here, we've got a light brick, and you can shine it up at this here, right into the eye. And like, look at this. That's such a cool effect. Here's what it looks like with the lights off. Like, that is so cool. Look at that shine there. Oh my goodness. Like, who would have thought? 2024, we're getting this. Included as well is this small build here of Mount Doom. You could see the lava all pouring out here, and again, that transparent orange tile is making an appearance. I love the color scheme for this, and just with this huge ledge here, like, there's all these spots as well. And for you to pretend like Gollum is fighting here, and you can have Sam come on up here too to join in. Like, it's really great. And of course, could toss the ring into the fire and have Gollum jump after it. It's just really great and completely unnecessary. Let's start with the Dark Lord himself here. Sauron looks incredible. This is just so surreal to have him finally as a minifigure. Like, we've been waiting so long to get him physically, like even dimensions, I think there was a glimmer of hope there, but this is just crazy here in 2024 to have him. This is a brand new piece that they've created. It's actually rubbery, which you might not like that, but I don't know, it still gets the job done. It's this incredibly detailed armor piece. I know some people wanted the helmet to be removable and the shoulder pads to be its own thing, but I still think like this is just so cool. It does give him a lot of height here. And speaking of height, I do wish that he had the Avatar legs, the Toy Story legs, just because he is that much taller than everyone else. And I just think him being that much taller would have really helped sell this a little bit more. But that's okay. I still really love the figure, of course, regardless. But underneath, this is really cool. For the first time ever, LEGO was allowed to design what his face looks like underneath there. And that's such a cool, fiery effect. I love how his mouth is missing. Like, the attention to detail. Like, that's so fun that they got to do that. This cape piece, you can flip this up here. We got some really detailed back torso printing. And then when you come on over here to the front, like, look at that. That's just, it's incredible. Incredible leg printing. This piece, a lot of people wanted this to be an actual molded piece. It would have been nice, I think. Here's the mouth of Sauron, and this is a brand new figure, completely updated. Obviously, the torso and leg printing is updated, a little bit more detailed, but the headpiece here, that's also brand new, and it looks really great. Very, very detailed. Unfortunately, though, it is, again, rubbery, and it doesn't come in any protective, packaging, and my front little spike there has been bent, and I keep, again, for the whole time that I've been building this, leading up to the review, I've constantly been bending it the opposite way to try and straighten it out. It just isn't happening, and I'm scared for some of the Sauron helmets. But anyways, removing this, it's really great. Again, look at the rubberiness, but it's super detailed, and I love how they've updated it. The face underneath is very, very creepy. You can see the back head printing there too, and this is what the back torso printing looks like for him. Here is Gothmog, and he is another character here that we're getting for the first time. He looks incredible. Like, that face, just the scars, the deformity, they captured it so well. And the back head printing there as well. Like, look at the lumps. Ugh, disgusting. I love the armor piece there, how it's got some printing on that, some scratches and everything. It looks awesome. And underneath you could see the torso. It's shared by someone else, you'll see in a second, but the leg printing is exclusive, which looks great. The back torso printing is very, very detailed. And here is the chef orc, I believe. And according to the Instagram comment section, the LEGO account sort of named this guy. It's Orkton Ramsay. So it's a Gordon Ramsay. Anyways, looks great. Love the torso printing there. It's the same one that you just saw before. Leg printing, though, looks so detailed. It's shared with someone else, but you can see that they're grilling up this hot dog. And if I remove the bandana there, you could see we've got like a smirk on one side and this angry expression on the other. Here's the other orc, and you can see the helmet in a little bit more detail here from before. Looks great. I love sort of like the fur there and the armor, the arms being exposed, the leg printing, and removing the helmet here. You can see it's the same face that we just had on the other one. And I'm going to go ahead and just throw on that other helmet if you want to see what that looks like there on a figure. You can see what it looks like here from the back there too. It doesn't fully cover up that other expression. Here is one of the green orcs included. Love the torso printing and the leg printing. I personally really like the fact that they're using the goblin hair and ears from Harry Potter. I think it fits and works pretty well here for some of them. You could see if you remove it, the face has this sort of angry expression on one side and this confused, I don't know, that's the look that I get from that other side. You've got this big sort of scythe looking weapon as well as a hammer, so clearly this one is working in the armory. And then here is the other orc, and this guy actually has a different torso, so that's really cool that they created another one. Look at the fur printing there, and the leg printing looks great. It's shared by the other green one, but looking here at the shield, again, brand new piece there. I love all the scuffs and just the rust and different things around there. You can see the handle from this side. It looks awesome. And the back torso printing looks great too. The face is the exact same one that was on the other green orc. Here is Frodo Baggins, and This is an excellent figure. I don't want to, don't get me wrong. It looks great. I think the outfit, the dual molded legs they created last year, the expression with the eyes and the smile on the other side, it's all really great. And same with the back torso printing. However, for Mr. Frodo, you've got this helmet, which is a really awesome piece, again, that you saw before from that bag. It's a great disguise. I love its inclusion. I think the piece is just so detailed. I love how you can see the eyes underneath there. You can see him clearly ramping up to something. We've got Samwise Gamgee here, who also looks great. Same figure from Rivendell, just like Frodo. Back torso, the front torso looks great. You've got the file from Galadriel, as well as the sword is supposed to probably be Sting. Could also just be his sword, but would have been nice. But then they'd have to include all those extra sword pieces, so it doesn't really make sense to be here. But the face, he's got this upset expression and the smile on the other side. And for Sam, he's also got another helmet here, and it's a little bit different. You can see the nose little points there. Those are different there, and it looks great. I love the helmets a lot. There's obviously going to be a but to this, but their outfits are kind of boring. I wish that whether maybe they had their jackets off and, they were a bit more scuffed up. Maybe the faces underneath could have been new to have some sort of variation there for them. Their inclusion's great. Like, I'm surprised that Mount Doom and all of these characters were here. I just think that it's just not that interesting if you compare it. Like, this is a huge set. Look what they did for Rivendell, making so many new prints and outfits. The last figure here that we're going to be looking at is Gollum, and don't worry, he does have the loincloth on. I saw the comments on the reveal. You could see that even there on the inside, he's got a little bit of printing. This is a brand new mold that they've created for Gollum. I think it looks excellent. I love the legs there and the arms. They're a little bit more in scale. I think with a minifigure, the face as well just looks a lot less weird and more in line with what Lego actually does for their figures. I love the printing there. You've got the stud on the back of the torso. It's excellent. I hope that they use this mold for his movie that's coming out in 2026. He can't wear his process, but he can actually hold it in his hand, so that's cool. Anyways, that's all the figures. Please don't get me wrong when I criticize some of them. I love this lineup. I think that there's a lot of fun inclusions here. Like, didn't expect Gothmog, didn't expect Sam and Frodo and Gollum, so that's awesome. I think maybe could have had a couple more orcs. Why not? Especially just duplicate them. I don't know, like mix and match, something like they did a little bit here. But also I think missing is Isildur and Elrond. Would have been so cool to also have them go up to Mount Doom and recreate that scene. I think it just would have made this lineup that much more impressive and a little bit closer maybe to Rivendell. But anyways, everyone, that is my review of Barad-dûr. I love this set. It is, again, like I've said all throughout this, it's crazy that we're getting this here in 2024. I've been waiting for this tower for so long. I've always liked it more than Orthanc. That's why I never got Orthanc back then. If it was the other way around, I probably wouldn't have passed up on this set. I feel like this sort of brings closure to a lot of different things. Dimensions, Lego Batman movie, and just Lord of the Rings in general, getting Sauron. If this is the last set we ever get for this, I'm very happy that we got this final chance for all these characters, but I hope it's not the end. I hope that map means something. I want all those locations. I want small sets. I want medium sets. I want large sets, and I want more of these. If you want to hear some ideas for other sets that I've got, check out this video on screen now. I think that they really need to do more. I think there's a demand for this. Hopefully we won't have to wait until 2026 to get a wave of sets. But anyways, everyone, be sure to subscribe, turn the bell notifications so you don't miss out on future, hopefully, Lego Lord of the Rings set news and reviews. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you all have a great day. We'll see you all in the next one.